We have been hearing about XRP price predictions for years. Let's just be honest here. Almost none of them have been successful. And this is a big issue. And I don't necessarily think that it's an issue around the actual price that's being, tossed around, but more so the time frame. We've been hearing about crazy predictions lately about like $100 by the end of the year and $1,000 here and $1,000 there, $10,000. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. Now, listen, I'm not going to say that, I haven't talked about certain price targets before because I definitely have. But the main thing that we look at here is just the time frame, okay? Like a $100 XRP, is it possible? I mean, sure, anything is possible in crypto. However, it's all about the time frame, because whenever we hear people talking about, oh, by the end of 2025, it's going to be this, or by the end of, this date or that date, it's going to be this. I think that that's the biggest issue. When we look at a few of these websites that are talking about price predictions, though, for XRP, it's kind of crazy because it feels as if a lot of these sites are just not that bullish at all when it comes back to XRP. And I think that that's interesting because, again, in my opinion, XRP is probably one of the most bullish assets in this space, especially with the recent ETF launches. But if we are looking at like 2026 or 2027 or even going to 2030, we could see the price jump significantly here. By the end of 2026, we do have here that, the potential prices all time in 2026 are about like $2.17. This is the average price, about $3.50, and then also $2.84 in terms of the maximum. Obviously, every single month is different here. And then by like 2027, we start to see, a few different changes here, about like a $5, $6 or so. XRP even at some points like $8 plus. But this is just, a potential price prediction of where XRP could be. But the main thing that I'm looking at here is, what's going to be the driver of the price of XRP? Because at some point in time, crypto is going to change. Real quick, before we continue on with the video, DCENT Wallet is having their largest sale of the year, up to 40% off. If you want to secure your crypto on a cold storage device, now is the best time to lock in on a DCENT Wallet, where a single pack is 30% off and a double pack is up to 40% off. Even if you have a DCENT Wallet already, maybe you have a friend or a family member in crypto that also wants to store their crypto on a cold storage device to ensure that it is fully secure. Why not buy them this for the holiday season? If you guys do want to go and get this deal right now, there's going to be a link down in the description below. This is the largest sale of the year. This won't be back for another year. So if you guys want to lock in now, it's the best time. Now, with that being said, let's dive on in back to the video. We're no longer going to be tied back to Bitcoin. We're not going to be tied back to this hype and speculation. And I would argue that we're actually starting to see that change even now. So the question here is, what's going to be the main price driver? I find it funny that like even big banks like Standard Chartered are also predicting XRP to hit like significant price targets, like $12.50 by 2028. Again, this is the time frame. I'm not dead set on, a specific time frame, but it is very interesting that institutional players like Standard Chartered are talking about, specific prices for XRP. But can we take this, as a 100%, chance of this happening? No. Like, this is not guaranteed. I mean, we even have a few of their targets down here. They said like $5.50 for XRP in this year, $8 2026, $10.40 2027, but already the 2025 price prediction did not hit. So the big thing about this is, is this going to be fully accurate? No price prediction is going to be accurate. It's a prediction, not a, this isn't a guarantee. But I did recently talk about the environment around XRP over on X. I posted this and I said, even with the market recently having, a significant correction, 30% plus, the environment around XRP is increasingly bullish. Increased institutional adoption and real-world payment utility, additional ETF approvals and institutional capital inflows, regulatory clarity and reduced overhang from, past legal uncertainty, bullish crypto market and macro conditions becoming a reality, like alt season liquidity and cross-asset flows, Ripple expanding products centered around XRP, including institutional DeFi initiatives. Lending and borrowing platform going live on the XRP ledger. The entire scene around crypto has changed for the better. A complete 180 from regulators, the Clarity Act nearly here, institutions flooding in, Wall Street embracing and launching crypto products, and even banks eager to launch stablecoin and crypto-related products. Believe it or not, but Ripple and XRP have been building towards this moment. They have been prepared for well over 10 plus years, and they are 100% locked in. And yes, they are. And, they have been building towards this very moment. It's very exciting. It's very, in my opinion, the best thing about XRP is that we don't really need to complicate things. I think that the biggest problem with crypto holders is that they want to jump in on Monday and they want to get out on Friday. But if we really think about the evolution of financial markets and we look at, certain run-ups in time and cycles in time, I really look at crypto as a completely different beast in terms of a financial asset class. I think that this is for the first time the opportunity where retail had, a chance to be a part of something before the institutional players, showed up, and even before the space was regulated. I also think that, we have an opportunity to buy specific pieces of the new financial system that's becoming a reality. And XRP definitely, in my opinion, is one of those pieces. Now, again, let's not steer too far off the road. The big thing that we are looking at here is price predictions. You guys probably already remember my overall view of the 2025 XRP price prediction breakdown. Essentially, what I was breaking down was the market cap with dominance. Now, we haven't really witnessed Bitcoin dominance break down in a big way. However, a few of these targets already did get hit. Like, for example, the $1.42 XRP price, the $2.37 or $2.37 XRP price target as well, the $3.32 price target. Outside of that, we also had a few of these other ones. Sorry, let me refresh that. We also had a few of these other ones hit. Now, for the most part, some of these other additional targets have yet to get hit, but we also didn't really see the market cap of crypto hit, above 4+ trillion in a big way. We kind of got stopped out at about roughly like 4.2 trillion, I believe. But my main bull case here, or my min bull target zone, was $5 to $7. It's still $5 to $7. We haven't really witnessed the big rotation out of Bitcoin just yet. Our initial target here was $3.84. We didn't hit that either. Some of these other targets did get hit. Did we take some profits? I mean, ultimately speaking, we did take some profits because we hit the 2x, which if you guys are in the Discord, you already know. And then also a few of the other targets were met with some, price targets, still not hit, but some of the initial ones definitely did get hit. So that allowed us to de-risk and also take some profits. But the main bull target here is still $7 to $10, and it still is. Now, I do have that extreme target zone down there as well. It's unsure if we are going to hit some of those key levels. It really just all depends on the capital rotation from Bitcoin into other, projects. Now, I did go ahead and ask Grok, aka AI, where is XRP, going to be by, the end of the year? Okay, and this is 10,000 XRP, because again, most people in this space hold anywhere between like 1,000 to 10,000 XRP. Beyond that, most people actually can't afford it at this moment. But I said, how much will 10,000 XRP be worth by December 31st, considering we will potentially see an additional Fed rate cut, improved liquidity, and a reversal in crypto? Now, we do have your XRP price outlook for December 31st, 2025. So as of November 27th, XRP is trading around $2.10 to $2.20 based on aggregated exchange data from recent analysis. This positions it well above its 2024 lows, but below its all-time high of $3.84 from 2018. The key factors here influencing the outlook: potential Fed rate cut. Markets are pricing in an 80 to 85% chance of a 25 basis point cut at the December 9th through the 10th FOMC meeting, up from 40% earlier this month. Fed Governor Christopher Waller recently called it appropriate due to softening labor data. This would ease borrowing costs, boost risk assets like crypto, and weaken the US dollar, historically leading to a 10 to 20% rally in altcoins like XRP within weeks. Then, of course, we do have improved liquidity. Crypto liquidity has been strained since the October 2025 crash, which wiped out 19 billion in positions. With order book depth on exchanges like Binance still 20 to 30% below pre-crash levels. However, stablecoin reserves now represent 3% of the total market cap, signaling paused rather than fleeing capital. A Fed cut could unlock 50 to 100 billion in sideline liquidity, especially via Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, already at 100 plus billion in inflows year to date. XRP benefits directly from Ripple's on-demand liquidity, which saw 300% year-over-year volume growth in Q3 of this year. Then, of course, we do have the crypto market reversal. So, with this, we are in extreme fear. Bitcoin is down 28% from its peak in October. This mirrors pre-reversal setups in 2017 and 2021, where sharp wicks preceded new all-time highs. XRP's weekly chart has broken its 2021 all-time high resistance with technicals flashing bullish divergence. Institutional adoption, 80% of Japanese banks eyeing XRP by year end. We don't know if that's going to even happen. We don't know if that's even true. ISO 20022 going live, definitely a big one. If Bitcoin stabilizes 100K plus post-cut, altcoins like XRP could see 2 to 3x gains in Q4 per historical patterns. Now, I don't think that it's going to happen in Q4. I'm not really even looking at 2 to 3x gains in Q4, which we are in. We only have about roughly a month left. So if we're looking at this, where could we be in terms of the end of the year? Well, let's go off of a few things. So here are the sources and the analyst. So here are the price ranges for December. So about $2.80 average. I would agree, especially with, a big bounce in the market. Kraken price tool, $2.24. It's a little bit too low. Digital coin price, $3.08 to about $3.51. Again, I would say that that's pretty conservative. This is just a continuation happening from our recent lows. Yahoo Finance, greater than $2.50. Venture burn, about $3.81 base, up to $4 peak. And then there's a ton of other ones here as well. But just looking at the full breakdown here, we have the base case about $3.50. Again, this is pretty... Again, I would say that this is pretty accurate. Like, this is a continuation from where we recently were. It's a bounce back, retesting some previous highs. I would assume that this would be pretty accurate. The bull case, $4 to $5 plus. Again, by year end, it's a little bit of an ask because we need a much larger rally. It could happen. Anything can happen. You got to remember, what happened to XRP back in November of 2024 into December. I mean, it surged significantly. So this is definitely possible. And then the bear case is $2 to $2.50. That's no cut. All of these are assuming, the December cut happens, liquidity stabilizes, and crypto reverses mildly. That's the $3 to $3.50, base case. This is a full reversal with Bitcoin trading above 110K plus, ETF launches for XRP, being very successful. On-demand liquidity also, starting to see a surge, and then also altcoins pumping as well. The bear case is basically everything staying the same or getting worse. So if we're looking at this, the value of 10,000 XRP would be worth about, at current prices, 21.5. Base case, about 32.5. Bull case, about 45. And then bear case would be 22.50. Or 22.5, sorry. So if we're looking at this, again, in my opinion, by the end of the year, I could see 32.5 being very accurate. I think that this would be pretty good, especially like if we're thinking about everything happening in crypto the way that we are looking at it, like a reversal happening, a rate cut, liquidity improving, just going off of those three factors alone, yeah, I could definitely see this. I could definitely see $3.25, which would be about $32,500. We'll have to see what happens. But again, all of this is speculation, even with AI. This is not investment advice or anything like that. The main thing that we're trying to look at here is the market going to reverse? Is the market going to bounce back? In my opinion, the market will bounce back. We just have to kind of watch what the Fed is going to do and what, the Fed is telling us. A lot of data is still on the back end. It's still, kind of getting paused or delayed. So we'll have to see what happens. But if we get the Fed rate cut, liquidity starts to improve, the market reverses, even if it's a mild reverse. I still see about like $3 being, you know, the target for XRP. So even 30,000 for 10,000 XRP, I would say that that's pretty fair. And then going into 2026, if everything, you know, aligns perfectly here, Fed rate cut, all of that kind of stuff, then I could definitely see the main bull target getting hit. So we're talking about $70,000 to $100,000 per, you know, 10,000 XRP. So that's my overall view here. And that's, of course, with the help of AI as well. So if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.